Hello my lovelies, and gosh, we're well into Thursday afternoon. It's been a crazy day. There's so much stuff going on at the moment. Oh God, time got away with me. I was emailing, I was on the phone, I was direct messaging, sorting this, sorting that. I mean, it's exciting, but goodness gracious me, it's where are we now? Well, the daily diary video from yesterday is just about to go up. It's somewhat late. I still haven't done tonight's video. I'm desperately hoping I can get that done before I need to head off to the restaurant. And I am just about to I'm about to put lunch on the table. Look what I treated myself to with my nectar points. Aren't these fabulous? I absolutely love them. Maybe it's just me. What I have managed to do is to get Derek into pole position. The usual noisy boys, as Derek is going to be the de facto daily again for an undefined period of time. Could come to an end next Monday, depending on how everything else plays out. Could go on virtually indefinitely, ad infinitum. And the others, it's the noise. And the others, now the well dressing is over and done with, are neatly parked up down below the village hall. That's looking nice and tidy and out of the way of any of the neighbours' cars who park here, as all of that space there is free for them to use. So hopefully nobody's going to be getting pissed off with me. They might even enjoy looking at them, who knows? Oh, the badge that Mustard gave me doesn't fit Minge Bag, by the way, unfortunately, so that's still on the list. I have whizzed all of them round the block, so batteries are all good and they're all absolutely fine. Well, apart from Stigbürt, who's all kinds of fucked up, but there we are. He's still less fucked up than he was, and that's a blessing. Might as well put the green bin away, do a bit of multitasking when I'm on my way back. Is it empty? Yes, it's good and empty. Right, let's grab this. Note to self, Wetleg didn't move today and hasn't moved for quite a few days actually, so I must take Wetleg on the post office run tomorrow. Now what could I be putting on top of naan and salad, I wonder? Oh yes, super hot and super spicy tandoori chicken drumsticks. God, I'm looking forward to this. Right, my lovelies. Now, gosh, with the sort of day it's been, I've not really got much in the way of diary footage. Oh, hang on, there's just a thing popped up. Right, okay, yes. Oh yeah, I forgot you said that. Right, yeah, I've not got much diary footage today, so I thought I'd bring back an old friend of the channel, driving to work on a Thursday. Gosh, we haven't done that for ages, have we, my lovelies? I can report that the radio needs turning off. I can report that the airbag light has decided to come on in Derek for reasons best known to itself. To the best of my knowledge, I haven't had an accident. Well, not in the last couple of days since the airbag light came on. Well, not since yesterday's when the airbag light came on. So that's a bit of a dysentery. Oh, careful pigeon. There we are. Let's have a look at my babies as we drive past. Minge Bag, Shison, Stigbürt, Boo. Should do some sort of a theme tune with that, shouldn't I? Oh, I think they look rather good. They could all do with a jolly good wash. I don't get time for that sort of thing anymore. Barely get time to wipe my bottom. Actually, I get plenty of time to wipe my bottom, and I do a thoroughly good job of it. I'm on record as proclaiming myself as one of the greatest professional bottom wipers on earth. There was a period, well, there were several periods in my life where my professional duties included wiping and generally caring for butty bum bums. More on that later. I was going to tell you the name of this lane just for reference, and I don't know what it is. I'm sure it's got a name, I'm sure I've seen it. So I'm not being secretive, I just don't know what they're doing. A nice job on that. That's been rebuilt over a long old period of time. Starting to look rather nice. Coming up on the right, of course, is the gateway, where I think I could get a very atmospheric photograph of the cottage. Except that I can't at the moment because the corn, I think it's corn that is the crop in that field, is so high you can't actually see the cottage. And the corn is as high as an elephant's arse. It's quite nice going slowly, isn't it? You can see all sorts of things. Oh, I'm actually running a little bit late though, so we'd better stop going slowly and start being reasonably brisk, which rhymes with whisk, and whisks are uppermost on my mind at the moment, thanks to a lovely chap by the name of Joe Cox. I still haven't opened it, Joe, but obviously now I know what it is, and I'm very much looking forward to it. You're a man of taste in most things, so I bet it's a really nice one. Got a Mark II Focus behind me in the correct colour of silver, and I am quite a fan of the Mark II Focus. Now, I like the Mark I Focus, and there was one in the family, you great twerp, there was one in the family very, very long term. It was Channel Islands car, and we bought it for my mother when it, gosh, being a Channel Islands car, it barely done any miles, and then it was my car for a while, and then it was Maggie's car for a long while, and then it was the tall one, Katrina, my stepdaughter's car, and then it went back to being Maggie's car, and it was still Maggie's car at the time that we divorced, and the last time I saw her, it was still her daily vehicle. Whether or not it's still going now, I have no idea. We're not in contact any longer, sadly. But yeah, I liked the Mark I. I always wanted an ST170, but I didn't really fit in them. There just wasn't enough room for a driver of my size. Whereas the Mark II, which I've had 2 or 3 of quite recently, you know, within the last couple of years, I am incredibly comfortable in them. One of the most comfortable cars I've, in terms of space and driving position, one of the most comfortable, oh, steady on, Derek, don't get carried away, old bean. Yeah, one of the most comfortable cars I've had. Absolutely loads of room, just right, absolutely lovely. And yeah, if I was going to have a daily that wasn't in the MG Rover family, that would be top of my list. A 3-door Mark II Focus diesel in gear trim would be the absolute ideal. and I'll just leave you to enjoy the view. Nice, isn't it? I didn't get to the post office today. That was a job that didn't get done, so that really must happen tomorrow. Wetleg must be the vehicle of choice. She is now overdue having her wheels turned over. Ugh. Other than that, it's been a reasonable day thus far, reasonably productive. Daily diary video went out, albeit late. Tonight's video is up and scheduled, 1919 as per usual. Always going for it. He's going for it, my lovelies. In his diesel LX. You see, I know it's a nonsensical and idiotic thing. I know that it's typical stupid macho masculine competitiveness, but I don't like being overtaken. And the temptation, you know, I wasn't accelerating flat out then, I was talking to you. But no, the temptation is to have him back, and that is ridiculous and childish and stupid. And I'm definitely not going to do it. I'm definitely not doing a silly speed along here just to stay within passing distance of him. Ha! That'll teach him. He's stuck behind other slow moving cars. Aren't men ridiculous? Men are just egos and testicles wrapped in a wrinkled skin. I shall deliberately go slowly. For a while. Oh, what else to tell you? You know about the wheels on Derek, don't you? Oh, did I tell you that part of the plans for Brian Johnston, when finances allow, which is not likely to be soon for reasons that will soon become apparent to you, but part of the plan with hey,
both of those are caused by Western sanctions.
I didn't instruct you to come on. Turn you down. Oh, it's because it's got the dodgy faceplate. It kind of turns off and turns on, or turns off and stays off until you jiggle with the doings. Yeah, some things are still a bit up in the air. But if the plans were to revert to Derek being the ad infinitum daily, then the Brian Johnston plans are that I would like to fit him with 16-inch hairpin alloys when some come up and when I've got the money to buy them. And if and when that happens, and if Derek is still the daily, then Brian's wheels, which are 15-inch turbines, would come onto Derek to replace his 14-inch steels. To let you know about the Derek thing, it's slight change in circumstance, or circumstances, but it's also just a mindset change. I've come back to the idea that Derek is just the perfect daily, and it shouldn't matter that he's the wrong colour. That's just my silliness, and that I shouldn't be putting miles, needless miles, work miles, on any of the actual fleet, because they're all nice cars or rare cars, and you know, it's silly to bang big old miles on them needlessly. It's just going to spoil them and cause expense. Whereas Derek here, being both a shed and a workhorse, no offence Derek, just give him a pat there, it's the obvious choice to have the miles stuck on him. Plus, he is so ridiculously economical that effectively by using Derek, I'm creating income that can be spent to tittify the others. So yeah, that's kind of my current thinking. And yeah, so don't be turning yourself back on, Mr. Radio. So yeah, if he stayed, then I'd be tempted to do some bits and pieces. Oh, you'll remember the little mishap I had in Derek. Well, this is where it happened, if you didn't realise. Yeah, I'd be tempted to do some bits and pieces. So obviously putting a set of alloys on him. Do you know, I triple check at that junction now. He was coming a bit rapidly, Mr. Mini, wasn't he? Yeah, so a set of alloys would help Derek out quite a lot. Sort of cheered him up a bit. Get over, electrified twat. And it hasn't escaped my memory that with Eric being somewhat podgered, there might be a Series 1, Mark 1, pre-facelift, what this is, in other words, leather interior floating about, which might be rather nice if it came up for grabs at any point. Spitfire S-plate, so that's going to be 78. So that's going to be, is that a Mark 4 or a Mark 5? God, I'd have had that at the tips of my fingers 20 years ago. 78 Spitfire, late Mark 4, early Mark 5, no idea. Somebody tell me in the comments, please. Refresh my aged memory. There's a rather nice looking Discovery 2 in the correct colour. You probably won't see it, but there's this sort of wooden shack thing type. Well, I mean, it's a very posh wooden shack on the right hand side there, and then there's a lovely looking late Discovery 2 that lives there in the correct colour. Now here's a question for you, another one that Mustard and I disagree over. What would you prefer, you know, assuming that money wasn't an option? Would you prefer a late Discovery 2, or any Discovery 2, or a Discovery 3, an early one? Now Mustard would take the 2 every time, and I've got a real thing for the Discovery 3. I think they're fabulous, especially the interior. I don't think I've ever driven one, to the best of my recollection. I mean, I suppose I probably did way back in the day, but oh no, maybe I didn't. 2004 D3 came in, and I was probably out of the game by then, wasn't I? Yeah, so maybe I've not driven one, but I'm just very fond of them. My ex-neighbour had one. I thought that was fabulous. I love the interior. I love the switch. Fucking hell. God, sometimes I think I've got a bloody target painted on me. What was I saying before somebody nearly drove into me? yeah, I just like the D3. I've got a thing for it, and I know that they're absolute money pits of cars with any number of untold inherent issues, and you couldn't possibly contemplate owning one unless you had a very large repair and maintenance budget. But yeah, Mustard loves the D2, and I had a look at some adverts of a late D2, and I was almost persuaded. They are quite nice, but which would you prefer? Tonight has been absolutely barking mad. I wasn't going to say barking mad, but then that beautiful dog walked by. Absolutely crazy. I am currently, and somewhat bizarrely, parked nearby, or outside, but I'm keeping it private, obviously, a customer's house. And because we've been absolutely mad busy, I said that I would deliver their collection, their order for collections, to save them waiting about in the restaurant. And there's been a total misunderstanding. So I've brought their food to their home for them, and they've rocked up to the restaurant. So so I'm currently sitting, waiting for them to come back home, and I can give them their lovely food. And this will be... There we are. Right, catch you in a bit. I've just had a cheeky 4 to 5 minute skive rather than heading straight back to the restaurant. I've worked my arse off tonight on that pass. God above. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock now, so that's probably going to be about it, other than some dribs and drabs. We've had some parties in tonight, celebrations, couple of birthdays. And speaking of birthdays, it's Ram, my head chef. It's his birthday today. Now, he's not really celebrating, because in their culture, if you lose a very close relative, like a spouse or a parent, then for 1 year you have to wear certain clothes, and you are not allowed to celebrate anything. So no birthday celebration, no, you cannot go to a party, you cannot celebrate, you can't celebrate anything, absolutely nothing. Which seems bizarre to me. It's like it's adding insult to injury, as it were. Oh, and worse than that, for the first like 10 days or whatever it is, you're not allowed to sleep in a bed. You have to sleep on the floor. You're not allowed salt. Gosh, it's a jolly harsh culture in some ways. I much prefer the Irish way of doing things, or British as well, I suppose, where you get you give them a jolly good send-off, and then, oh, for fuck's sake, fucking block the road, why don't you? Right, we better go around the block. And then we get well and truly pissed and have some nice food and probably a good laugh. But there, that's the way that they do it. So Ram's not going to be celebrating. Well, we're going to celebrate a bit. We wouldn't normally have a nice staff curry on a Thursday. It's normally Friday, Saturday only. But we've bought a chicken, and that will probably, as we speak, be being freshly butchered. And in a little non-official celebration of Ram's birthday, we're going to have nice curry. This road here is a bit of a nightmare, my loves, as you can see. Oh, you on the wonk. This, of course, is one of those roads that was built when not every household had a car, and those that did have a car would have only had one. Now that the world and his wife, that looks fun, doesn't it? Now that the world and his wife have 17 cars per household, the street is a bit congested. Right, I suppose I'd better get back in and take my punishment. I'm thirsty as well, and I really need a wee. You wouldn't believe how hot it gets in that kitchen. Or maybe some of you would. Anyway, all right, darlings, I'll catch you in a bit. This is in honour of my brother Ram's birthday. Happy birthday, Ram!
Happy birthday, cheers, happy birthday. Thank you, Justin, thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
We celebrate my birthday. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, bless them, they're all happy bunnies. And, oh, hello, I'm being joined. Hello, Gopi. Oh, there he is, ladies and gentlemen. I am currently in the middle of doing tonight's live stream. And in case you think I'm joking, look, I'm really not. There, you see? Oh, and that's my hat. And what has happened is a fly tried to commit suicide or just fancied a good drink and fell or dive bombed into my wine, which is here. And I fished him out, but as you can see now, he's no longer flying, and he's just crawling around looking for a kebab shop. Oh, there's his wings, and he's basically just as pissed as a rat. Mate, just get to sleep for 12 hours and have a bacon sandwich, you'll be fine. Right, that's it, my lovelies. The live stream, which was brilliant, I really enjoyed that. That's all finished, and I've done the other little bits that I absolutely had to do tonight before I went to bed. And now it's time to get my supper, finish my wine, chill out for a little while, and then stagger upstairs. Thanks for watching this, and have a safe and peaceful night, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Good night, my lovelies.